Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you have another great day today. And today we're going to be discussing EV tax incentives, specifically state incentives. And I'm in the state of Illinois, and there are quite a few states out there that have state tax incentives. And this is just a cautionary tale for any Illinois residents who are thinking about getting the EV tax credit. And is it really even a tax credit? I called it something else, and I'll let you know what it is. I'm going to show you some email exchanges I had with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency over this. But let's go ahead and get into this. First of all, I'm going to show you which states have tax incentives, and I'm not going to get too much into detail on this. This is just for informational purposes only, for your awareness, in case you're thinking about getting an electric vehicle. And so right here, this is actually Rivian's website, but they list all the state incentives on here. And so you have Alaska, Arizona, California. So you see California has quite a few incentives for electric vehicles. And also Colorado has a couple, the District of Columbia. Florida has 3, including HOV lane access, Georgia, HOV lane access, Hawaii. In Illinois, my home state, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency offers an electric vehicle rebate. And I am going to talk more in detail about that tax rebate. Louisiana provides a tax credit for residents who purchase an alternative fuel vehicle. Kind of surprised at Louisiana. Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Hampshire, New Jersey has 4 different programs. North Carolina, HOV lane access. The state of Texas, Utah offers HOV lane access. Vermont has a couple incentives and a rebate. Virginia, and the state of Washington. And also, if you're in Canada, of course, Canada has a few different federal incentives also for electric vehicles. So now we're going to discuss the Illinois tax rebate. And this was in effect when I purchased my electric vehicle. The law had gone into effect maybe a year prior. And was I looking forward to it? Not really, but it was nice to have. It wasn't going to make or break my decision whether or not I was going to get an electric vehicle. In fact, when I first purchased my electric vehicle back in 2011, there was something similar in Illinois, and I never even applied for it. I just didn't. I didn't feel like going through the process. I'm going to get into my story and what happened to me, and this is a cautionary tale for you. If you're in the state of Illinois and you're thinking about getting this rebate, and this may be part of the reason why you may be purchasing an electric vehicle, I'm going to tell you right now, don't do it, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, electric vehicle rebate program. We're going to talk about this, and I'm going to read over some of the eligibility criteria and some of the debate I had back and forth with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. Okay, right here, it's either a $4,000 rebate or $1,500 for electric motorcycle. Okay, right here it says applicants must apply for the rebate during the open rebate cycle and within 90 days of vehicle purchase using the application forms available on this website during the open rebate cycle. And it says eligibility requirements for EV rebate in Illinois include, but are not limited to, the purchaser must reside in Illinois at the time of vehicle purchase and at the time the rebate is issued. Check. I met that criteria. The vehicle must be purchased from a dealer located in Illinois and licensed by the Illinois Secretary of State. Rented or leased vehicles do not qualify for the rebate. And I did purchase my Rivian from the state of Illinois, from a dealer in Illinois. It is based out of Illinois. And it says the vehicle cannot have been the subject of previous EV rebates under this program in Illinois. And I purchased a new vehicle, so I met that criteria. And this says only individuals can receive and rebate and can only receive one rebate. Business, government, units, organizations, or other entities that are not individuals will be denied a rebate. Okay, next, the rebate amount cannot exceed the purchase price of the vehicle. And I met the criteria also. The purchaser must retain ownership of the vehicle for a minimum of 12 consecutive months immediately after the vehicle purchase date. The purchaser must apply for the rebate within 90 days after the vehicle purchase date. And I'm going to read that again. The purchaser must apply for the rebate within 90 days after the vehicle purchase date. This is what got me into not being eligible for the tax rebate. So I took delivery of my Rivian R1T on February 14th of 2023. and it happened to be right after the funding period had closed for FY 2023. And I went on the website, this website here, and I was like, okay, let me put my application in because I know it's closed. And so I'm going to put my application in. So when the funding window opens again, I already have my application in. Easy peasy, right? That's your thing. And so I'm looking around and trying to find out, okay, where do I put my application in? It has to be somewhere. I'm looking around and there was no place to put my application in. But right here it says rebate application funding. A rebate application cycle is not currently open. Sign up for listserv below to receive future updates regarding the EV rebate program. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm looking all over. I was like, why can't I put an application in? They don't have the application open. So whenever the funding cycle closes, they also close the application. So there's no way you can apply for it because they don't make the application available for you to sign. And so I went down here below and I signed up right here to get on the mailing list for when this is going to open up. And, 1 month passed by, 2 months passed by, 3, nothing. Didn't hear anything until October. I finally heard something back. I received a notification that the funding cycle is open. So I was like, let me check and see if I'm eligible. I was like, this is weird because did I miss something? Because there was no way for me to put my application in. And I didn't think that was fair. I was like, why would they? I could see not having a funding period open, but why close the application down till no one can apply for it? So next I'm going to show you the email exchange I had with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. And they are the agency that kind of govern these tax rebates for the state of Illinois. And so this is an email I sent to the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency on October 3rd of 2023. And it says, hello, I took delivery of my Rivian R1T on February 14th of 2023. And I attempted to apply for the EV rebate in February as well. However, when I went to apply, the website stated the application period was closed and I could not apply until it opened back up. So I signed up to be notified when it opens back up. But the November 1st date is past the 90-day mark. Does this mean that anyone that purchased an electric vehicle prior to 1 August of 2023 are not eligible because we could not apply? Also, does this mean I'm not eligible for the rebate since I purchased my EV in February when the application period was closed? The Illinois Environmental Protection Agency did get back with me fairly quickly that same day, and they stated you would not be eligible for the November 1st, 2023 to January 31st, 2024 funding cycle. Once you're beyond 90 days from your purchase date, you're no longer eligible. The Illinois General Assembly is in passing the EV rebate law structured it so the applicants must apply within 90 days of their purchase date. The Illinois Environmental Protection Agency has no flexibility on a 90-day rule as it was passed into law. You must apply during the open funding cycle and within 90 days of your purchase date. Please see the rule listed on our FAQs. And it states, apply for the rebate within 90 days after the vehicle purchase date by providing all the information specified in section 275.230 of the agency. And it talks about the Illinois law here. And it says the application must be postmarked within 90 days after the vehicle purchase date. The electric vehicle rebate program is based upon fund availability. During the funding cycle that closed January 31st of 2023, all funds were exhausted. The Illinois Environmental Protection Agency is only able to open funding cycles as funding allows, which is why additional funding cycles have not been able to open until November 1st, 2023. So that's where they came back. It was like, sorry, out of luck. This funding cycle was not open and neither was the application period. Now, this is the point of contention I had. And I'll show you how I responded back to them. And so I responded back to that email and I said, thank you so much for replying. Just for clarification, are you stating it would have been impossible for me to apply during the 90-day period because it was closed due to lack of funding? Is this some form of lottery? If the funding period cannot be predicted by the taxpayer? And I went on to say, if this is the case, this should be clarified on the Illinois Environmental Protection EV webpage because this is misleading if you're not allowed to place an application during the 90-day period due to funding availability. The application should have been made available during this closed period and placed on a waiting list. Now, I understand what the Illinois General Assembly is saying, that you have to apply within 90 days, but nowhere in there does it say that they have to close the application to where you can't even apply. That does not say that anywhere in here, and that was my point of contention with this. And so they did respond back to me again, and just with a canned email, and it says EV rebates are subject to availability of funds for each cycle. EV rebates for eligible and complete applications received in the funding cycle are subject to the availability of funds for each cycle. The next application period will open November 1st, 2023, close January 31st, 2024. EV rebates are subject to availability of funds for each cycle. And it's the same thing that they stated before. And so my problem is, as I stated earlier, is that I couldn't apply. And so this is why I called it a lottery. And to me, it is a lottery system because there's no telling when this funding cycle is going to open. So yes, this is specific to Illinois residents who are thinking about purchasing EV. But if you also are in a state that has EV rebates, you may want to look and make sure the rules and make sure you just check the eligibility, and so you won't run into an issue. So I just want to make sure everyone's informed. So if you are thinking about this, just a word of caution. And the funding for this last cycle ran out relatively quickly. They only issued $12 million for this. And I saw that that over 4,000 people were turned down who put in an application. So I would say don't depend on this at all. So if you're getting an electric vehicle, do not just pretend like Illinois doesn't have an EV incentive program, because it really doesn't, unless for a very select few. And you have to time that window perfectly for your purchase. And you have no control over when that may be open, and you'll have no insight. So it just all depends on funding availability, which there's no advance notice of that. But yeah, there is kind of sort of maybe about 30 days advance notice, but I wouldn't hinge on trying to time it and purchase my vehicle to get this funding. So I hope you got some value out of this. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. But that's all I have for today. I'd like to thank you for joining me once again. And I can't wait to see you on the next video.